Hey everybody, it's Cam for Techtainian, and today we have a review of the PS Vita. This is the long-awaited, highly anticipated successor to the PlayStation Portable from Sony. Everybody wants to know if this device really meets the expectations of the original, if it competes with the 3DS, if we even need portable devices anymore now that we have iPhones and Android devices and iPads. Do we still need dedicated gaming devices? I'm going to answer all these questions and so many more in my full review of the PS Vita, so let's jump right into it. So it includes a quad-core ARM Cortex-A9 CPU to power the entire operation, has 512 megabytes of system RAM, and there's all these numbers and jubba, but unlike on Android and some other devices where you have all these great specs and have a bad experience a lot of the time, the PS Vita's experience is buttery smooth with nice animations and just really great experience. So you're definitely getting an experience that is enjoyable. You also have a quad-core GPU with 128 megabits of video RAM, which also gives you a very, very good graphical experience, definitely succeeding that of the 3DS, maybe even up to the level of the PlayStation 3. So Sony has really brought out all the stops in terms of graphical performance here. But you have to wonder, with all these CPUs, GPUs, all this crazy stuff inside, how big is the PS Vita? And the PS Vita is definitely thick. At 18.6 millimeters, it is a very chunky device. But that extra chunkiness is actually really nice when you're holding it, because it really gives you something to grab onto. In terms of weight, though, the PS Vita is quite light. So despite being a big device, it is not heavy. The PS Vita has a 5-inch 960 by 544 capacitive AMOLED display, which looks absolutely amazing. Just in this clip here of Uncharted, you can see how bright the greens are. The colors are so fluid. The contrast is great. Everything about the color, everything about the screen is really, really good. The resolution looks nice. Big props to Sony for absolutely nailing the screen. It is one of the best I've seen and a real bright spot on the PS Vita. The PlayStation Vita has a couple different ways of getting media onto it. The main way is using PS Vita game cartridges, which are about the size of SD cards. But in my opinion, all the games on the PSN market are a lot cheaper, so that is my preferable way of getting them, and then you don't need to carry around any cards. So with the PS Vita, Sony has introduced some new paradigms of touching the device, and one of the big new ones is their rear touchpad, which is an interesting way to use the device, but in my opinion, it's kind of finicky, doesn't really work that well, and you can see in this clip of little deviants here, I'm kind of having some trouble. I just keep running into the robot. So just sort of a finicky, gimmicky thing, but just because they went for some new kind of gimmicky things, they did not leave out any of the classics. The PS Vita does include D-pad, action buttons, dual analog sticks, shoulder buttons. It has the full array of awesome buttons, and they work very, very well in all the games I've been playing, especially Wipeout, where you really need the sensitivity. I've noticed that the dual analog sticks and the action buttons work very, very well. So even though they've got some weird new things going on with the control, the classics are here and they're as good as ever. Sony has also included the front screen, which is a touchscreen now, and as finicky as that may seem, I actually found it quite useful, unlike the back pad. You can use it to draw your path in Uncharted, so if you kind of want to draw Drake's way, it's actually pretty intuitive. Also, when you're playing Wipeout, a lot of the time you'll be pounding those buttons, you're holding them down, you're racing, and after you're done a race, you kind of want to relax for a second because you've been holding those buttons so hard. So being able to use the touchscreen for most of the UI movement is really nice because it lets your hands relax and you can just tap around after you've really had them clenched up. So I just gave you a big overview of what the PS Vita is. I told you all about it. I told you what's good, what's bad, the whole rundown. But the real question is, should you buy the PlayStation Vita? And I feel like this is a question that is not a one-size-fits-all answer. It's not like, oh, the iPhone's the best phone right now, or oh, the Galaxy Nexus is the best phone right now. This is a very individual question. The PS Vita is a very good gaming device. The real question is, do you think you have time in your daily schedule to spend gaming on the PS Vita? Do you like the game selection on the PS Vita? I feel like a lot of reviewers are making this question to be a lot more complicated than it really is. It's really a very simple question. The PS Vita is bad at mostly everything else other than gaming. It's not very good at music because it's just the app's not that good and it's too big to carry. The web browser is pretty bad. The Twitter client's pretty bad. There's only a total of 3 apps on the market right now in terms of apps. So overall, it's pretty much bad at everything except gaming. So you just need to think about this in a very simple context. Do I want to game on the PlayStation Vita? If yes, and have money, buy PS Vita. If no and don't have money, or even if no and do have money, don't buy the PS Vita. This is not a device that everybody needs to buy. It's a very targeted device. It's for hardcore gamers. If you're not that audience, you don't need to buy it. But it's good at what it does, and if you are a gamer, I give this a definite 9 out of 10, because if you're a gamer, you're going to love it a lot. It's really good at being a gaming device. Cam for Techtainian, adios amigos, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.